Do you guys remember how Twitch banned gambling on their platform, and then the gambling company Stake founded the streaming platform Kick so that they could continue having streamers advertise their gambling services so they could keep that sweet, sweet gambling income flowing into their company? Y'all remember that? Well, guess what? Twitch is bringing back gambling. To be more specific, Twitch is bringing a bunch of mature content labels to streams so that they can maximize the amount of adult content for their platform. So just to quickly go over these new guidelines, you can now simply put a label on your stream if your stream contains mature rated games, sexual themes, drugs, intoxication, tobacco use, etc., violent and graphic depictions, significant profanity or vulgarity, and gambling. So now that we've gone over the facts of the matter, let's get into a little bit of opinion before we cover some more facts. So first of all, I don't personally like gambling. In fact, it's the one thing that I still don't like about Kick is the fact that they're basically sponsored by Stake, the gambling company, and it's the only thing about that company that makes me wary of them personally. So obviously I'm not a fan of gambling coming back to Twitch, and instead I view this as a pretty desperate attempt to claw back the streamers that they lost who all moved over to Twitch because they were all gambling streamers and making a shit ton of money doing that content. But aside from that one hiccup, that one personal gripe I have about that specific type of content, if we shoved that aside, I am actually a huge fan of this labeling system because I think the community has already been aware for a very long time that there are 13-year-olds who use Twitch, who then go on Twitch. They're able to access lewd content from the hot tub streamers. They're able to access extremely violent and gory content from mature video games. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable with like these 13-year-olds accessing all this graphic content on this platform, which is not specifically 18 plus. And so now we're having these tags that are going to push under 18 content to the under 18 users and over 18 content to the over 18 users. I think this is a segregation in content Twitch has needed since its inception. It's very frustrating it took this long to get here, but I do see this as a positive change because what it means is instead of just banning mature content like YouTube does and demonetizing mature content, which is the one thing that I really hate about YouTube aside from their copyright system, this is going to put it in its own place, give it proper labeling, and allow people to choose what type of content they consume. And I really personally hope this gets integrated into the algorithm where the algorithm will figure out, do you like mature content or not? There's a lot of consumers on Twitch who really hate the hot tubs and pools content that don't want to see that. And hopefully if they can uncheck a box, they can completely eliminate that from their dashboard and not be exposed to that if they don't want to. And maybe the under 18 users of Twitch can tick a box, say I'm under 18, and not be exposed to the violence and the sexual content and the drugs and such in video games. I see this as an ultimate positive. What I also see as a positive thing is that labeling your streams is mandatory, although streamers will not receive suspensions for failing to do so, which again, definitely a positive because I feel like this is something that the streamer themselves is going to want to do. They're going to want to segregate children from their audience if they have mature content on stream because nobody wants these friggin' teenagers on their stream being immature and annoying or just exposing them to content that they might not be ready for. Like, I think that's something streamers are going to actively want to do. But I also like the fact that they're not going to receive suspensions for it because it doesn't make sense to get suspended just because you forgot to label your stream once. You know what I mean? And instead what they're going to do is those who fail to label their stream after multiple warnings will have the proper label applied automatically without the ability to remove it. Which again, I am 100% all for that. Because this isn't a matter of punishing the streamers, this is a matter of making content more consumable for the consumers. This is exactly how this should be handled, and that's never something I say about Twitch, so I'm very happy with that. It is not very often that I have the opportunity to say something positive about Twitch, and I have so much pent-up anger towards Twitch for reasons that are obvious to anyone who's seen any of my other videos about Twitch. But I'm not going to let that bias stop me from giving props where props are due. Is it overdue? Fuck yes. But at least it's here now, and it's a positive thing. But ultimately, that's only my opinion. Let's take a look at what the opinions of the community are. Now, sifting through these comments, a lot of people are relatively dubious, and we got comments like, so I can finally stream art on Twitch without worrying being hit, or people are still dubious about Twitch's existing enforcement and how it's going to change going forward, which is understandable. You should be dubious and you should stay vigilant and stay careful. This comment I also noticed when I was reading through this. 2 days after they lost Amouranth, Twitch implements a new series of adult theme labels. That is exactly what happened. Yeah, I noticed that too. I also wanted to highlight this quote retweet saying, "Rare Twitch dub in my opinion." And this quote retweet here saying, good move, unless Twitch decides to lower revenues for people using those labels. Which is an interesting point. I have no idea if we're gonna see advertiser-friendly guidelines appear and have streamers get lower ad revenue because it's less advertiser-friendly. However, I don't think that's gonna matter too much because streamers already don't make that much from ads to begin with. So as long as they're still able to monetize with bits and subscriptions, I don't see this being too much of an issue. But those are my thoughts. Those are the thoughts of the community. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Rare Twitch W, do you foresee consequences that I didn't foresee when you guys were going through this information? Any and all thoughts, comments down below. I read every comment. That's all I got for you. Bye guys.